Initiative 1000, called the Death with Dignity Act, is on Washington State's ballot this November. The initiative would classify a lethal drug overdose as a medical treatment option. This dangerous initiative would permit a doctor to help a patient commit suicide if the patient has a condition that is expected to cause death within 6 months.
It's a monstrously selfish act. It says, my own will and my desire and my comfort are the only thing that's important to me. The effect on the people that love me, or even the impact on the whole of society, whether measurable or not, is of no consequence to me.
Gosh, who would like to die in horrible misery and suffering? And everybody, gosh, not me. And certainly want to give this option to people. And you know, boy, it sounds good that way. But once you educate people, support quickly erodes to below 50%.
I've seen some phenomenal things happen with patients that turned around when I absolutely was convinced they were dying.
Why is 6 months the cutoff? Why shouldn't we extend it to 7 months or a year or even 2 years? Where's the logical cutoff? There is none.
It devalues our sense of human community, and really it sets up into a higher place lesser values like cost containment.
I keep remembering what that governor of Colorado said, that it was your duty as an elderly person to die, because the last 6 months of the average life ate up a tremendous amount of money.
But it'll be a difficult thing for people to oppose as soon as you say, oh, it's a matter of personal choice, and I wouldn't do it myself, but I certainly wouldn't interfere in anyone else's personal choice. Everything in society is a question of choices. I believe that patients have a big fear of a couple things. One is being in pain, and the other is being alone and being abandoned. And I feel that we can meet that need of being there for them and relieving any discomfort or pain that may arise.
Yeah, if you had a bill that said, if I'm within 6 months, I would have been dead 4 years ago.
You would have missed your granddaughter.
I would have missed a lot.
You would have missed 2 sons getting married.
I would have.
We need to recognize that basic truth that each person's death diminishes the rest of us.
There is no requirement that family or next of kin be notified, and that's just plain wrong.
It's always a patient's option to limit the amount of care they receive. So no one is forced into a situation of prolongation of life or prolongation of misery if that's not what they want. So it's really a little disingenuous to say that assisted suicide is a necessary option to be added into the list of patient choices, because already we have that.
And this is going to be an issue that everybody's going to be considering over these next months now that lie ahead of us. And we have an obligation to stand up and say, these are the values that should be informing the debate about physician-assisted suicide, about end-of-life issues. So we need to talk about the value of human life.
He was tough. I mean, he took his pain medications and he got better about taking them. But he was tough. And he felt that it was his lot and that it was something that was before him in his life. And he was going to fight it with every ounce he had. I mean, he drove to church one Sunday. It was when the time had changed last fall. And he was there early. And he sat in his pickup outside the church, and then he got out. The pastor said at his funeral that he greeted everybody as they came in that day.
Initiative 1000, called the Death with Dignity Act, is on Washington State's ballot this November. The initiative would classify a lethal drug overdose as a medical treatment option. Vote no and defeat the Death with Dignity Act.